Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson, here to bring you guys another wonderful episode of the J Lounge. Of course, everyone knows the J Lounge is a celebrity-based podcast show where we talk with celebrities, entertainers, actors, singers, you name it. They all come down here and we all have a really great time. As per norm, I'm always super excited to be introducing my next guest. He is actor and a musician, and I cannot wait for him to explain his work and really get to know you guys on my audience. Please give a warm welcome to Aristotle Dreher. Hi, Aristotle.
Hey, Simone. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Look, the power of Twitter. This is all how this happened. The power of Twitter, man.
Twitter. It's crazy, yeah. If Elon Musk doesn't bring it down.
Yeah,
at this point.
I know. But yeah, but I mean, to all this all began for everyone. We Aristotle liked a couple of my tweets on Twitter, so I just reached out, and this is how it all happened. So I am super excited to be speaking with them. All right, Aristotle, I'm gonna go ahead and fire the first question at you. I want to know, what began your passion for acting?
The passion for acting. I guess the bug bit me when I was a little kid, going to the movies. And, when you're very young, you see these people on screen and you wonder, you're not quite sure if it's real life or what it is. There were some times I would look at actors and I thought that they were the person they were playing in the movies. And then when I discovered they were playing a part, they were acting, that really fascinated me at a very young age, actually. So I was like, oh, you can just kind of become a different person. And I like to do different voices and do impressions and stuff like that. That always came naturally. So becoming someone else just seemed like the right thing, the next step in that creative process.
I love it. No, I get it. When I was super younger, my most obsessed movie was Men in Black. So when I found out that Will Smith was actually not part of Men in Black, I was like,
"Oh, how disappointing!"
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was
that's like a slap in the face.
Right? It's even worse than learning that Santa Claus is not real. You guys got to stop ruining my childhood here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Completely understand. But going on to the next question. As an actor, what roles do you gravitate to and why?
Well, since I'm a tall actor, I gravitate toward tall roles. No, it's funny because as an aside, I work a lot on set, and as in different capacities. I work as a photographer as well, and I am 6'3", and the world is not necessarily it's not necessarily built for me. So at first, there's like a lot of roles where you kind of play a big guy, a tough guy, or whatever. But the types of roles I like are the ones that are counterintuitive. That is, you might look at me and think one thing, but then perhaps you get something else as a result. So non-stereotypical roles, I think, are stuff that I like to do, for sure.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh,
play against part. Yeah, I'm a big guy.
Oh my goodness. Pictures, honestly, because I honestly from pictures, I didn't think they were that tall. Maybe like 5'8",
it's from a high angle.
9. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But yes, I definitely understand that for sure. Going on to the next question. Name 3 people who influenced your career and why.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum, definitely, because he's tall. Also, let's see.
He's seeing a pattern here.
yeah, indeed. Probably, Jeff Goldblum is definitely one of them because he's a unique type of guy. You know what you're getting when you see him, actually, which is interesting. And also, he can play all different types of roles. Other Sam Rockwell. It's actually pretty good because he's a bit of a chameleon all the time. And currently, people like Tilda Swinton are really influential. I could keep going. Denzel Washington is definitely someone I was just talking about recently. I mean, this guy is the embodiment of creativity and an actor to the bone. So seeing someone like that is always inspirational and influential. But directly influenced my career, I would say that a lot of people in my personal life that I've worked with, that I've gotten to know over time. There are people like Bradford May. He's a director, cinematographer. There's another guy, Brian Reingold. We call him Mr. Special. He's an interesting guy. It's a short little story. my first job on film ever. I walked around Manhattan with my resume in hand, and I went into every studio office. I went to, Lionsgate. I went to New Line Cinema. I went to all these places and handed them my resume. And I was like, right out of college. And I was like, I need a job. And, Mr. Special was the first person to give me a job right off the street, which, definitely started my career in the movies in film and television. And, that was a big influence on my career for sure. And, I have a great debt of gratitude to folks like that who can, because there's a lot of nepotism in movies and also in any industry really, but for me I went in cold. I just walked into offices and handed out my resume and made some really good connections and friends along the way.
I love that. Well, I love two parts of what I have to say. For one, love your choices in actors. Jeff Goldblum, I mean, come on, he's part of everyone's childhood. Jurassic Park. I mean, but like you said, he's a chameleon as an actor. He can really just do about anything, Independence Day. I mean, it's just, he can work with anyone and kind of bring out kind of the best, whoever he works with. I mean, I thought he made a great scene partner for Will Smith. I wish they would do another film together because they do have amazing chemistry. I was just like, you guys definitely need to do a comedy. I don't know how that's never happened. Yeah. Shame. That's definitely a missed opportunity for sure. And
absolutely legendary.
Yeah, and of course Denzel Washington. Of course, I hold Denzel Washington pinnacle of acting. I mean, the man can do anything, any role. He gets into it. I mean, I've watched behind the scenes for Training Day when he did his infamous, speech in Training Day. That was
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah.
So good.
That was completely ad-libbed, and I watched behind the scenes, and the director was like,
wow.
When he was done, he was exhausted.
I bet. I mean, he was working for that Oscar in that scene, but yeah. Incredible scene.
Yeah, incredible scene. And still, I mean, I could never, I only a few actors can draw you in like that. You are really believing that, Denzel Washington's a good cop and all this kind of
stuff. Yeah. Really, oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
We brought everybody in, yeah.
Oof,
He's a masterclass. He's a masterclass in acting.
He really is, though. He really is. Yeah. And of course, the second part, I know, like you just mentioned, the nepotism, that's really, really strong in Hollywood. And to hear stories like yours is like, it was the normal, really, kind of 15 to 20 years ago. If you wanted to get somewhere, you got to pave those streets, because that's really where most of the casting producers, directors were. They were on the streets looking for people that they could make into stars.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that for sure. Literally on the street. I would line up around the block at like casting places and be standing on the street. There was this one time, and I lucked out, which was good. I was standing on line, and there were hundreds of people on this line, and the casting directors came out, or the casting folks came out, and they said, "We're only picking 5 more people." And they walked down the line, and I just kind of stood on the line, like staring at the casting person as they were walking toward me, and I was one of those 5. They were like, "Okay, you," and then I went in and joined the agency there, but that was a while ago. But yeah, it was literally just standing on the street in Manhattan, looking for work.
Yeah. That's how it was. I mean, that's really how it was, in the 90s, 80s. So back then, that's how it was. You had to go out in the streets if you were going to hope to find, a director, or because that's where they were looking for their, stars. They didn't look to, celebrity kids. They looked to people on the street they can just pull and go, you know what, I'm going to put you in my next big budget movie and you're going to be a star. I mean, that's how it used to be. So for sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Going on to the next question. What's been your best role to date and why?
My best role to date? Well, let's see. I would say I thought about 5 jokes there, but the best role to date, I was lucky enough to be in a series of commercials, which was fun, but for Redfin, It's an app. It's a website you can buy a house through, and I was the spokesperson for that. That was actually a really fun role because I got to just play myself and be silly. But I've played a father many times recently, especially, which is interesting because I don't have kids, so you have to really like.
I hope that's not the universe saying something to you.
Right. They're like, you got a lot of dad energy. Yeah, we need to put you. But yeah, roles like that have been fun. I do really enjoy going to USC and working with the grad students there and working on working with a lot of people who are on the come up, developing their style and working their way into the industry. And there's been a lot of small things here and there that I've really enjoyed doing. A lot of dad work.
Love it. A lot of dad work. Hey, you got to start somewhere. Somewhere.
Absolutely.
That's what they say in Hollywood, isn't it? Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and sometimes it's on your father's shoulders for some people.
Playing a father many, many times. Again, let's hope the universe is not saying something to you.
Right.
All right. Going on to the next question. I want to make sure my audience follows you and keeps up with your work. Where are you on social media?
Oh, you can find me at Aristotle Dreher. So Aristotle, Aristotle Dreher on all of the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And I'm on YouTube at Aristotle Full Throttle. That's, if you Google that, you'll find me. So it's easier to remember, Aristotle Full Throttle. So Google that and you'll find me.
Oh, yes. I highly encourage my audience. Make sure you follow Aristotle Dreher on all social media platforms. Make sure you check out more of their work. We want to see him on the big screen, little screen, any screen. We just want to see more of his work. So make sure you guys follow him.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And support. And hey, don't be afraid to say hi. So make sure you guys just follow.
Yeah. And on Twitch, too. I do live streams on Twitch.
Yeah. Oh, and Twitch. We got Twitch in here. Still haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. Exactly. Gotta catch them all. All right. Going on to the next question, Aristotle. I want to know, what future projects are you currently working on that you can just give a little dish to the J Lounge audience?
Right now, I'm working on a few projects, developing one. I was working with a producing partner earlier today. They're doing a film in February, a short film, a comedy that should, yet to be titled. So I'll let you know when that comes out. I'm also producing a photo shoot for some brand names in April. That's going to be in April. But yeah, mainly I do daily live streams or every other day live streams. I'm on TikTok, always creating there. Just constantly creating. That's the daily grind, really. Just making things to entertain folks, or entertain myself, really. And if anybody's watching, hopefully they get a laugh out of it too.
Absolutely. Everyone and listening in, all the casting directors listening, we got somebody who's always constantly working. Get on the grind. I get it. I get it. The grind when you're an actor, it never stops. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep going.
Always ready to work t's You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, pardon me. Yeah, I actually have a friend. He's been in the business for about 40 years. He's an older guy, and he was telling me, especially about acting work, you got to keep your daily things going. I keep my daily Twitter feed alive. I've got 32,000 followers on there. I've got Twitch. Got to keep that going. My own form of entertainment and live streams and comedy. And other comedians a lot on live streams and on TikToks and etc. And my friend was telling me, look, you're an actor. He's an actor. Do your life. Be who you are. Create the things you're going to create. And when you're called for the job to act, when you're on set, that's where you're supposed to be. But tying your entire identity to being a working on set all of the time actor can really sort of drain that creative energy, that creative flow. So you really have to have your own thing going for you. And then when you're called in for the work, you do the work and you do a good job. But tying your identity to being an on-set working actor can be counterproductive, I'll say, because a lot of times, we can't all be Meryl Streep working from movie to movie to movie, or Tom Hanks. But when you are on set, that's where the work is. That's where you put in the work. But you're always constantly developing your craft outside of that in all of your own projects. It's better to be creating on your own all of the time instead of sort of waiting to be called to work.
Absolutely. Because if, some people still don't get the, grasp that actors are not spending 2 or 3 hours on set. You guys can spend anywhere between 12 to 14, 18 hours on set doing whatever. It's doing a lot of takes because, you got to get that perfect angle. You got to get different angles. It can be very, very exhausting, as you just said, and it can be draining. And yeah, I honestly sometimes don't know how some actors can do it, how you guys can do it, because look, after 12 hours, like, y'all, look, I need to get home. Ben and Jerry's is waiting. I got some Netflix. I got WrestleMania tapes. I mean, I have a lot of things going on, people. Yeah. I've been here for 12 hours. Eventually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna get snippy. I'm gonna get a little bit irritated. And yeah. So I completely agree. Definitely have something outside for yourself, creatively wise, and when call comes, go to work. When work is done, leave it there.
Yeah, leave it there. But always work on your craft as an actor. But yeah, feeling like you ought to always be on set all the time, day to day, every single day, is going to drain you. Yes. It's going to drain your soul because it's all hit or miss. But when you get the work, I'm always grateful. I'm always grateful, and I'm always happy to be there. And it always feels right, like I'm supposed to be there. However, to feel like I need to always be there all of the time could be setting yourself up for disappointment.
Absolutely. I completely agreed to that. I'm hoping all inspiring actors listening really take heed to that, because that's important advice, really. All right, going on to the next question. What goals do you hope to accomplish in your career that you haven't yet?
World domination. Let's see.
Oh, yes, that's always a goal. Yes.
That's always a goal. Tonight we take over the world. Goals I want to achieve mainly is, I learned this from an unlikely source. Conan O'Brien, on his last night on the Tonight Show, hosting the Tonight Show, he said, if you can work hard and be kind, just work hard and be kind. He said, I promise you, everything's going to be all right. So I would like to accomplish never being a jerk or never being lazy about it. Always working hard and always being kind, because that is really, really important. Because one thing you notice, anytime you have a friend or something that meets a celebrity or an actor or someone their idol, you don't remember really what they said. You remember how they made you feel. And also, people always ask, were they nice or were they mean? That's all they remember.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, I met so-and-so. They were really nice to me. Or I met this so-and-so and they were really mean to me and I don't like them anymore. And I have a few stories of that. And it's like, well, that's disappointing. I met some of my heroes and they were less than stellar toward me. And I was like, oh man. So I want to maintain goodwill and kindness and just understanding people outside yourself is a really, really good thing that I like to accomplish my career and maintain.
Absolutely. And I believe you can work hard, be kind, and definitely take over the world at the same time. I refuse to have anyone tell me otherwise.
Me, yes. Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, it's all ours. The world is ours.
Exactly. Exactly. That's world domination is definitely on my list of goals. I can't help it. I watch Pinky in the Brain. I can't really help
Yeah,
it. What they try to do, take over the world every day. So that's just,
yeah,
I can't help it.
yeah.
I grew up on that. So,
Same
but I
thing we
do have
do every day, Pinky.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Same
yeah.
thing we do every day.
I always think, although I got to take Will Smith off that list. Will Smith ruined Will Smith for me last year when he with his unkind behavior. So yeah, that's one down. He's got to earn it back. I think he needs a minute. He needs to
I
sit in the
definitely,
timeout.
yeah, I definitely think it can definitely be done. I really do. I mean, this is, Will Smith. He's never really had controversy, so I do believe he just needs to write this out. Definitely learn from his mistakes and definitely earn back the trust of everyone. That for sure,
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
sure.
A friend of
Oh,
mine though is in his latest movie with him. Mustafa Shakir is in that movie about the Civil War. Yeah, he plays like a general or something. I haven't seen it yet. Sorry, Mustafa, I'll watch it. I promise. But but it's the Will Smith factor that's keeping me away from it because he's in all these scenes with Will Smith, and I'm like, look, holy moly, that's Mustafa. You've
that's
probably seen him
cool.
before. He was on a few things.
That's awesome, though. Though it is an awesome moment, and then hopefully, definitely, your friend will be in more things for sure.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
oh goodness, that's so awesome. Going on to the next question, going on to the eighth question. What passions do you have outside of acting?
I'm a musician. I've been a musician as long as I've been interested in entertaining. So music is something that moves me deeply, and I've performed it, and I've been a musician my entire adult life, and had record deals, and went on tour, and performed hundreds and hundreds of shows as a musician. So that is something that is my absolute
Wow.
deepest passion for sure. But acting and music to me are two sides of the same coin. They always say every actor wants to be a musician, every musician wants to be an actor. So, but to me, they're really, really two sides of the same coin. They're ways. Here's why. I think in both scenarios, it doesn't work unless you truly are feeling what you are doing. So
Hmm.
music doesn't work unless you're feeling it while you're playing it. And same thing with acting. You gotta be real. You gotta be feeling it, or else
Exactly.
no one else will.
Exactly. It is, yeah, you got to be, you got to feel it in order to draw everyone in. If that energy, resonate. If the audience doesn't feel your energy and you don't feel the audience energy, then it's not gonna,
Mm-hmm.
be a good performance. So it's definitely important. Definitely
Gotta
important.
be
I think it's
authentic.
exactly. And I think that's so cool that you're able to, tour and perform. I mean, that's pretty awesome. What's been your best place to perform?
I played, I played on Warped Tour and Taste of Chaos. These are big like rock music tours. I played this arena called Nassau Coliseum in Nassau County, Long Island,
Oh
and that was a
wow.
great. Yeah, that was for about 13,000 folks of our closest friends.
Whoa.
And that was a fun night, a night to remember. But we've played many other shows for thousands of people, but not that many thousands. So that was a really, really great experience.
Incredible.
It was a while back.
Still, that's incredible. That is amazing. I love that. All right, Aristotle, I just got two more questions for you. Going on to the number nine question. What advice would you give as aspiring young actors who hope to be as successful as you?
Uh, very, very much the same advice my friend gave me, which is to really just work hard at your craft, work every day at it, study other actors, watch movies, watch TV, look
Hmm.
into the eyes of these actors on TV that you like so much. And do you believe them or not? And really, really think about that when you're watching other actors. And so when you're breaking down a script or doing a scene, this is, that is something that you should really take into consideration. What am I meaning? What am I meaning to communicate when I say these words to this other person? What am I communicating really to the other person in this scene? And also just keep at it regardless of whether or not you are hired and on set all of the time or not. If you really truly want something, you're going to do it forever. This thing I felt playing guitar growing up. A lot of times people say to me, "Oh, you play the guitar? That's really cool." I always wanted to play the guitar, but I kind of respond, if you always wanted to play the guitar, you would always be playing guitar, which is
Yeah,
what I did.
that's
So
such a true statement.
uh, I was obsessed with acting and music. So I just did it all the time. So just completely involve and envelop yourself in acting and music, and study monologues, break them down, study great monologues. So there's really, if you've got the passion for it, follow your dreams, follow your heart, follow your motivation, and one foot in front of the other, little by little.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That I 100% agree with. Just keep going, just keep doing what you're doing, and just hone your craft as well. As
And
well.
also, and set your sights to where always aim high. But there's a lot of times people to me when I was a kid, they'd say, "Oh, what do you want to do?" I'm like, "Oh, I want to be on TV and play on stages and play music." And then they say, "Oh, well, be more realistic," which was the worst thing you could say to somebody.
Yes, it is.
Like, well, if other people are doing it, why can't I do it then too? That was my thought. And if you can overcome any type of chatter like that, that's really important. Follow your own goals and your own imagination. And I always say this: don't limit yourself to someone else's imagination. If you have a vision, follow your vision.
Yes, I agree to that. Amen. I really hope, everyone takes that in because that's really, really good advice. So that's amazing advice. All right, going on to the last question, Aristotle. Any roles that you like to play that you haven't yet?
Um, I would like to play. I would like to replace Will Smith in the Men in Black movies. If
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
that's, there's an opening. I heard there's an opening now. I'd like to do that. Role to play. I would love to be. I would just really like to be kind of. I'd love to be in a comedy. Like,
Yes.
I haven't really played like a full, like kind of a. An off the wall type of character, someone like Taika Waititi, the actor, filmmaker, musician as well. This guy kind of had to carve his own way because people didn't really see the likes of him before. They didn't see his type on screen. So he had to prove himself as a type, as a archetype, or as his own type of character, his own energy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people like that. Seth Rogen is an unlikely famous comedian in a lot of ways, but because he's so funny and he's so very well branded, Seth Rogen, you know what you're going to get when you get Seth Rogen. Like something like that. I want people to be like, "Oh, I know this guy and what he brings, what he does." And I think there's been a challenge with that for me personally, being 6'3", being a person of color. Just the way and Hollywood is evolving and changing right now, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there are more opportunities to play types that maybe go against patient. Those are the types of roles, something that you would not expect to see a person like me play. So, and that's more and more attainable these days. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely think that there should definitely be more like off the wall, quirky comedies out there. Because I like Wes Anderson. I definitely love his
Yeah.
films for what it is. It's so, for one, you can always expect color and just quirkiness and comedy, and his movies never fail to me. And I definitely feel we definitely need more of those. One of my favorite, TV series back in the day was 6 Feet Under. It took a serious subject matter and put off the wall quirkiness and comedy, and it was gold to me. So I definitely definitely completely understand where you're coming from there. And yes, Hollywood is definitely changing, definitely opening up, more, and definitely more of these roles are definitely coming out. So there's definitely opportunity. Because yeah, you would definitely be great in a comedy.
Oh, well, thank you. I would
Absolutely.
love to do one or more.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh my goodness,
thank
Aristotle,
you.
I really have truly enjoyed our conversation today. You, for one, are funny as hell. So I definitely see comedy in your
Oh, well, thanks.
future, hands
Thank you
down.
so much. I've enjoyed
Yeah,
this conversation as well. Thank you so much for having me.
absolutely. I appreciate you talking about your work and what, your vision and being working hard and being kind. I think that's amazing. That's really, of course, I think everyone should aspire to be that way. For sure. That should be an accomplishment for everyone.
Hmm.
But yeah, I appreciate you just, opening up and talking with me and getting to know my audience as well.
Yeah, I'm happy to, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to thank everyone for listening. And of course, I want to highly encourage my audience one more time. Make sure you follow Aristotle Dreher on all social media platforms. We want to see more of his work. Definitely show him some support and definitely follow him. And of
Well,
course,
thank
you guys know I have been the hostess with the Moses Miss J. Aristotle, my amazing guest. I appreciate you for being on here. This has been
thank
the
you.
Day Lounge. And of course, you guys know we will be back with another great episode soon. Till then, everyone, you have a beautiful day and I'll be back soon. Bye.